drop of blood belongs to a black guy, Crispus Attucks. And so now you show that lineage in the thing that attracts us most and tries to pull the platform that has given us really and truly the complementary major muscle movement to the actions of activists. While there are those talking about the substantive issues that we are trying to address, the real muscle movements have been through athletics. And then many of the athletes have worn the uniform, so their actions on the field reflected the commitment to a nation, reflected and their, when they took it off or on their field, they were always reflective of the best in what America expected in many cases, and gave them a different platform. Bear Bryant actually said it best. He said when USC ran up and down Alabama on their home field, and specifically, what's his name?
Sam Cunningham. Sam
Sam Cunningham ran up and down that field. He said Sam Cunningham did more for integration in Alabama than all the marches in Montgomery.
Yep.
He said because the very next year, there was when they came in to recruit in Alabama, all the top players went to Alabama. And Bear Bryant told them he don't give a damn what they think about, yet he will play for Alabama, talking to the white constituency. And that move, those moves in the early 60s are what pushed people's brains, because Roll Tide meant more than to hell with you, Negro.
Right.
Roll Tide took over.
And this is for you, Terrence, specifically. I've talked to General Bray about this, but I was focusing on Joe Louis. Joe Louis is kind of the protagonist for a lot of the things that again, many people served well before he was even born and still were superior athletes. But Joe Louis, literally, if he was LeBron James, he did more with less than anybody to help create, I believe,
acceptance.
Well, yeah, acceptance, because he was a black man who became an American, not a black American, but an American hero when he defeated Max Schmeling. For one moment, he was almost colorless. For one moment. And I don't know if any other time in this country did we have people seeing a black man as colorless.
Oh, sure. You saw it again. The other time you saw it was Jesse Owens.
Okay.
Jesse Owens, anytime the flag is in the ring against another person, the people, the nation, now you got to understand, there were still Americans that hate so hard they cannot get past it. But America at large cheered because they were cheering the flag and the pants that Jesse wore. The pants, and then Joe Louis became a different symbol, especially when when in the prime of his career, he chose to join the military. And even though it was a lot of exhibition fights, in fact, I hear when we can laugh, I've got Joe Louis boxing Elaine's dad. I've got that photo because he was in the military.
So guys, when I say that there is so much information to be discussed, not just among scholars, but I'd like to have some students who are storytellers be part of this discussion so that they can draw from the discussion their own interpretation, and possibly their own interpretation becomes their submission of a story that becomes part of the database.
Keisha still on the line?
No, she's gone. But I'm recording this now because she doesn't know anything about the content. So yeah. The content.
So because you migrated to this, by the way, and
I did really, because I think what I go to is my passion and my strong suit. If nothing else, I have a lot of rights to some of the content that's going to make the discussion more about, what do you have that's unique? I mean, we have some technology that may or may not be unique, but the rights to these athletic baseball.
Silo Cloud is unique, and if you get Rick or Lyle especially, he can really tell people what's unique, because you need to get journalists on the line with him and let them say, tell me who else can do what I do. Once they show me what other platform can do what I do.
Right.
Let them ask that question.
Right.
Then you have a Lyle who can walk them through it short.
I just want to make an insertion point. I have tried to get Terrence on the line with Lyle, haven't been able to do so. And Terrence, to his credit, has been the devil's advocate and has suggested that Lyle doesn't particularly do anything different than anybody else does.
Have you signed in the Silo Cloud?
Just a few, Terrence.
Say that again.
Have you signed in to Silo Cloud?
When he first gave us the link, but not recently.
Okay, go into Silo Cloud, and this time use your old code and go inside and play in it.
Okay.
It's not until you play in it that because, and again, some of us are novices, so your reach is very different. Like my fraternity brother told me, he said, "Oh man, there's plenty of platforms right now that does collective migration and dispersion." I said, "I don't know them, but you do." So if I said, "You do." So I would tell you, look at it, test it, get with some of your buds and friends, and have them, while you're in one platform, have them contact you without trying to go to the same platform that you're in, but because you've done the dispersion and collating piece in Silo Cloud, see how accurate it is.
Okay. And I'll do that.
When you go inside, sign up for all of the social media platforms you have. Try to put out some information in different versions and shoot it to people and say to go to all the folks and similarly have some of your friends from different platforms contact you and see how it looks to them.
Okay.
The other thing he argues is it's cyber resistance, cyber access resistance to those who are outside trying to get in. And
right.
I've got a brother-in-law, by the way, who is his what he does is he does protection for companies and for card companies, things like that.
Right. Yeah, sure.
That's what he does. And he says the philosophy behind Silo Cloud, as he was digging into it, he said what he's doing is pretty, I don't know of anything like it.
Right.
I said, what does that mean? He said, I don't know of anything like it. So
yeah, no, I would agree. There are very few platforms for consumers or entities that are interchangeable, mainly because the business keeps them out. Not that that's not technically possible, but Apple does not want to play nice with Microsoft, and Google does not like to play nice with either one of them, and Facebook ain't playing nice with all of them, right? So it's not that they're technically not able to work together. They are business-wise not playing nice in sandbox, right? But to your point, I mean, there's a consumer-oriented player. There's a play for somebody that's agnostic. I just get to, how do you get acceptance on an agnostic play and get credibility, in a world where all your credibility, everything you do is tied to your Gmail or your Hotmail or your Microsoft login, and it's getting more and more tight in terms that single login. Because what he's really providing is there's a thing called Okta that we use business-wise, right? It's an ultimate login. So I log in and do a single sign-on. That's what we call it. And I can access any number of applications through the single sign-on because all of them are authenticated and tied together, and they all know who I am. And I can access all of them through that one connection point. Now, this is not social, right? This is all business. Zero to do with what a consumer would do, but business-wise, it's being locked down. I don't think consumer-wise it's gotten out there yet. So, but I'm with you. I'll take a look and certainly look at that piece. I think for me, it's about, whoever uses this needs a reason to use it outside of the current systems, have to sort of believe in it, and you have to convince other people to get on that platform and give away their information or trust this platform outside of it. Right. So, but I'm there. I'll definitely take another look and sort of play through it.
And Terrence, this has been very helpful because several people have said that, when they've done the demonstration, it's great, but this problem is adoption. Is that, Microsoft and Google, they're well known and they're well trusted, even though you're not going to get the open sourceness and the customizable things that you can do with something brand new. They're comfortable, and that's, especially B2B.
To get the masses, it's comfortable. Now, I have people building independent platforms, and what I'm saying to them is, you build a plugin that lets you also use your Microsoft and Google sign-ins and authentication to be used here. I have another guy I'm working with. He's got an authentication platform they think is interesting, whole social, similar space, right? But they're strictly using it for social, mainly to protect intellectual property and knowing who is who, right? Who you might be licensing them from, it's from the real person. And they're doing that. They built a plugin to Facebook. They're also building a plugin to like YouTube, other things, right? So you could then use those logins to use this platform. That's how they're creating acceptance. Now, I have no idea if I was interested in doing that, right? He may be like, I ain't building no plugins to those guys because I don't like what they do. But this is how people are trying to get people into something new, is by utilizing something that people already know and saying, hey, well, you could use that too, no worries. We're just showing you we got a better mousetrap. But if that's what you're comfortable with, do what you're comfortable with.
So Terrence, this is exactly what I want to try and get to in an MOU, is to ask for all the things that he may be resistant to. So if I can say that, hey, I want a plug-in so that every student and every faculty person who uses what they use because they buy or purchase a system that they're comfortable with.
So let me be super specific for you, Kevin. Find out what Santa Monica College uses currently. Be super specific.
Yes. Okay. There you go.
Whatever they use currently, can you get a plug-in from that into this? That's going to make your life a whole lot easier, because when they give out credentials, they're going to give them out, and the kid's going to be able to use that same credential in this system. Now, that's seamless. And it should get acceptance from the system, from Santa Monica College.
Right.
They're going to be like, oh, well, same login, cool.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Well, you guys have given me some things to integrate into the MOU. And again, I'm going to ask Keisha to make sure that I have the things that I need to qualify for Lacey. And in terms of what she didn't describe to you, Lacey, again, is a green clean tech accelerator incubator in downtown LA. It's highly leveraged by the city of Los Angeles and all of the people who are into alternative energies and alternative ways for us to be a smart city. And so they offer up the space, the showcase opportunity to bring a lot of this stuff to an audience of B2B or investors. So that's what I'm trying to qualify for, so that I can actually do my dog and ponies inside of a place that may not be Heartbeat or something else, but it literally will be the sandbox that I believe will get a lot of my phone calls returned. So, and I want.
All right, no, look, let me take tonight, tomorrow. Let me look through some stuff. I will call you back tomorrow. But I appreciate the outreach. Bray, always good to connect with you, sir. And would love to see this come to fruition, my friend.
Okay. All right. Thank you, General Bray. Thank you, Terrence. And
Terrence, really, truly, I'm always amazed at you, and I appreciate you sustaining the friendship with Terrence. It heartens me. Yeah, what I just say?
No,
What
hey,
I
hey,
say?
no, you said that's okay. I'm gonna play. He said you said that you appreciate him.
Yeah, no,
Terrence,
I caught that, but I know what he meant.
yeah,
So.
you appreciate him sustaining the friendship with Terrence as opposed to Kevin. But you're talking about Terrence.
Okay. Well,
That's okay though. I know
But
exactly
yeah,
what you meant, sir.
he mixes me up with you all the time.
he
No, Terrence, he mixes me
knew
up with you all the time.
he knew that Terrence wasn't keeping the friendship with Terrence, so we got this.
Well, yeah, of course it works.
Well, you have to love yourself a little bit, but not that much.
Yes,
So
Yeah, no, I heard that.
okay,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Well, look, anyhow,
All right, gentlemen.
thank y'all very much. I appreciate you. Stay in the fight.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you,
bye
guys.
now.
All right, now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.